Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalam ala Sayyidil Mursaleen wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een. This is a brief history of Muslim rulers after Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the famous jurist, fuqaha of Islam, and the famous muhaddithin, the scholars of hadith in Islam. And you should know the political developments, and you should also know the take one and pass. You should know the political developments as well as how the knowledge was disseminated. We don't have much time, so I will go very fast. If you have any questions, please write it down, and later, you can ask. But I request not to disturb in between. You see, we start from here. The Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was the ruler in Medina for 11 years, almost 10 years and 3 months. He died in the 3rd month of 11th Hijri. Then Abu Bakr Siddiq, he ruled, he was the Khalifa for almost 2.5 years, from 11 to 13. Then Umar bin Khattab, he ruled for 10 years, from 13 to 23 Hijri. Then came Uthman, he ruled for 12 years, from 23 to 35 Hijri. Please remember here that up till here, up to the period of Hazrat Usman, the capital was Medina. The capital was Medina. And after the death of Hazrat Usman, Ali became Khalifa, and he shifted the capital from Medina to Kufa. So what happened in those days, after Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Muslims conquered in the north, in the east, and in the west. So what happened? Number one, the first thing to be conquered was Iraq, and then in the north, Syria, Oman, Palestine, and in the east, after Iraq, Iran, Azerbaijan, Afghanistan, Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, and Uzbekistan. And in the west, the first thing that was conquered was Egypt. After Egypt, parts of Sudan and Libya, and then Algeria and Tunis, and later on Morocco. So the Muslims spread in the east and in the west and in the north. And ultimately Turkey also was included in the Islamic world. Now, so Ali thought that the center is now Iraq. So he made Kufa as the capital. So we are saying here, Medina was capital for 35 years. And then during the tenure of Ali, Kufa was capital for about 5 years. During Ali and the 6 months ruled by Hassan, his son. Then what happened? Amir Muawiyah, he established the dynasty of Banu Umayyah. And for 91 years, the center of activity was Syria. And the dynasty started after Muawiyah, his son Yazid, and in the same family of Banu Umayyah, there were so many rulers. The most famous are Abdul Malik. He ruled for almost 21 years, though he was sharing with Abdullah bin Zubair in the early age. And Walid ruled for about 10 years. And then came Umar bin Abdul Aziz. Unfortunately, he was very nice man. he was poisoned, and after 2.5 years, he was killed. And then Hisham came, he ruled for about 20 years. And the last Khalifa of this dynasty was Marwan, he was killed. And then Banu Abbas started ruling. And remember here, Baghdad was a new city built by these people, and Baghdad became the capital, and it remained capital for about 524 years, from 132 to 656. Though they had a lot of problems and their state was shrinked, and ultimately it was, not on the map of the world. 656, Halaku Khan came, and he ruined Baghdad, and later on, those were Tatars from Russia, but ultimately they accepted Islam. So the Tataris. Now, what we are saying here, the first part is for 40 years until the time of these are called Khulafa al-Rashidun, the rightly guided caliphs. They ruled according to the teachings of Quran and Sunnah. Whereas it was only in the family of Banu Umayyah. Banu Umayyah, this was the family, and then the family of Banu Abbas for 524 years. Please remember here, Abu Bakr was from the family of Banu Taym, Umar was from the family of Banu Adi, and Uthman was from Banu Umayyah, and Ali was from Banu Hashim. 4 caliphs of Islam, the first 4, they were from 4 different families. But later on, it was a kingship or a dynasty, son and his son and his son are in the same family. Write down your question and ask later on. Okay, so we said the most important 3 things you have to remember here. The 40 years of the right rule according to Quran and Sunnah. Then you have to know 91 years of Banu Umayyah. Then you have to know 524 years of Banu Abbas. And it was a decline spiritually. Though they had a glory, they had they built castles, but spiritually it was a decline from the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now, what happened after the death of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? The most important thing, that the Sahaba, the companions, they went from Medina to many countries and many different cities. This mobilization was basically for 3 reasons. Number one, the Khalifa in Medina, Abu Bakr, Omar, Uthman, Ali, he was sending them as the chief of the army battalion, or he was sent as a judge, or he was sent as a teacher. They were sent on an official assignment by the Khalifa. This was number one. Number two, they went for jihad on the borders. They were going to Afghanistan, they were going to Tajikistan, they were going towards China, they conquered Azerbaijan. Huzaifa bin Yaman, he conquered Azerbaijan. And Amr bin As conquered Egypt. And many other Sahaba, Abdullah bin Zubair and other people, they conquered Libya and other places. So, and many Sahaba went to Syria. Bilal was in Syria. Muawiyah was in Syria. Abu Ubaidah al-Jarrah was in Syria. And Muaz bin Jabal was in Syria. Sa'ad bin Ubadah was in Syria. So many of the Sahaba migrated to Syria. Some migrated to Yemen, some migrated to, and some of them are buried in Turkmenistan, the famous city of Mari. You see, where is Turkmenistan? Some are buried in Egypt, some are buried in Libya. So the Sahaba is spread all over. Now, the two famous schools, the school of Medina, now we are talking about jurisprudence, and the school of Kufa. Now we go to the school of Medina. In Medina, after the death of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the famous scholars with knowledge, Aisha, she died in 57 Hijri, Abu Huraira 1 year later in 58 Hijri, and Abdullah bin Umar, the son of Umar bin Khattab, he died in 73 Hijri, and Jabir, the famous Sahabi Jabir bin Abdullah, who died in 78 Hijri, and Anas bin Malik, the servant of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, died in 93 Hijri, and he lived 82 years. Remember here, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam died here in 11 Hijri. 11 Hijri. And Anas bin Malik lived 82 plus 11, 93 Hijri. And he was transmitting ahadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Anas bin Malik. Now, so this was the school of Medina. So this S means the Sahabi. Now their knowledge was transferred to T. T means Tabi'in. Tabi'in, the followers of Sahaba in Medina. So the greatest scholar was Sa'id bin Musayyib. He is called Ra'isul Tabi'in. He is the chief of the Tabi'in, the two people. Number one, Hassan Basri is also called the chief of Tabi'in, Ra'isul Tabi'in, because he met more than 500 Sahaba. And Sa'id bin Musayyib also, he met 500 Sahaba. He was son-in-law of Abu Huraira, and he was from Quraysh, from the family of Banu Makhzum. He was from the family of Khalid bin Walid. He was from a noble family of Quraysh, originally from Makkah, Sa'id bin Musayyib, and he became the Imam of Medina. Sa'id bin Musayyib, he became the Imam of Medina. Very, very knowledgeable. He's a giant. He is a giant. And then Urwa bin Zubair, and Salim bin Abdullah bin Umar. He is the son of Abdullah bin Umar, Salim, he died in 106 Hijri. Then Nafi, the servant Abdullah bin Umar, Nafi, he died in 117 Hijri. And you have Zuhri, who died in 124 Hijri. These are the Tabi'in of Medina. They got the knowledge from this Sahaba. The people, the Sahaba who were living in Medina, this Tabi'in got the knowledge from them. Okay? Now, we go to Kufa at the same time. Look at here, the two major Sahaba. Ali was a great scholar. He lived in Kufa for 5 years until 40. And Abdullah bin Mas'ud, he lived there until 32 Hijri. He was also a great man. Actually, he was sent by Umar bin Khattab to Kufa to teach the people and to make judgments. He was a judge and he was a teacher at that place, Abdullah bin Mas'ud. So now, from there the Tabi'in. Number one, Alqama. Number two, Alqama died in 62 Hijri and Masruq died in 63 Hijri. They were Tabi'in. And Qadi Shuray, 78. Qadi Shuray was judge, listen to me, for 60 years in Kufa. He was Qadi in the time of Abu Bakr and Omar and Uthman and Ali and Muawiyah. You see, he was Qadi Shuray, a great name, Qadi Shuray. And he was the one, the famous judge who gave a ruling against Ali. You know the famous incident that even, a Jew stole a sword of Ali, and the matter went to the court, And he said, do you have any proof? He said, yes. My son Hassan will bear witness that this sword belongs to him. He said, sorry, I will not accept the witness of your son because he will, favor you. So the sword was given to a Jew who stole. And after the judgment, the Jew came to Ali and he said, I stole it and I accept this. And he accepted Islam. And he said, what sort of judgment that an ordinary judge is giving ruling against the Khalifa, the ruler himself. And this is the justice of Islam. This is the justice of Islam. Okay, now you see Ibrahim Naqai, a giant Ibrahim Naqai. It is, you see here, Sa'id bin Musayyib, he died in 94. And Ibrahim Naqai was in Kufa. And he was giving fatwa, and fatwa. A great man, he was the greatest scholar of Kufa among Tabi'in. And he was the greatest scholar of Medina among Tabi'in. Here Sa'id bin Musayyib was the Imam, and here Ibrahim Naqai was the Imam. Then you see, in Basra, the city of Basra, Hassan Basri was the Imam. He died in 110 Hijri. 110 Hijri. And remember, he met more than 500 Sahaba. He is considered as Rais al-Tabi'in. He was a son of a slave lady of Zayd bin Sabit in Medina, but the wife of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Salama, she feeded her milk to him. And that's why he was very much resembling to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was born in 22 Hijri, 11 years after Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the son of a slave, but he was very handsome and knowledgeable man and pious man, Hassan Basri, and he died in Basra, the city, the new city established in Iraq. Now we come to here. See, Urwa was there, Salim was there, Nafi, and these were all Tabi'in. Then the next generation came. We call them Taba Tabi'in. Tabi'in, Taba Tabi'in. So they were following these people. These were the Sahaba, these were Tabi'in, and these ones are Taba Tabi'in. Double T. Hisham, who died in 144. Rabi'a, 136. Zayd bin Aslam in 136. And Jafar as-Sadiq, who was the grandson of Hussein. Jafar as-Sadiq died in 148 Hijri. And now, you see here, Malik comes. Imam Malik, a man of the greatest scholar of Medina. And all Africans from Egypt, Libya, Sudan, Algeria, Tunis, Morocco, they were coming to Imam Malik. That's why you see, he had at one time 1,000 students. 1,000 students. That's why the entire North Africa became Malik. Even now, most of them are Malik. But our brother Muhammad al-Harishi, he is above these schools. Okay, Imam Malik, he was born in Medina and he died in Medina. Except he never went outside Medina except once, and that was for Hajj. So his knowledge was confined to this chain. His knowledge was confined to his masters, Jafar and Hisham and Rabi and Zayd, and Their masters were Zuhri, Nafi, Urwa, Salim, Sa'id bin Musayyib, and their masters were Anas, Jabir, Ibn Umar, Abu Huraira, Aisha, and their master was Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So